All right, everybody. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका आने का. तो today's topic is decoding the future of EdTech. हमारे साथ we have a really great panel of people who've been working in EdTech for many years. तो सबसे पहले मेरा नाम मैं उज़ैर करनी हूँ. तो मैं एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी में 2011 से काम कर रहा हूँ. दुनिया भर मैंने लोगों को ऑनलाइन पढ़ाया है. अखूत में मैंने काफ़ी साल काम किया in traditional education एज एकेडमिक डायरेक्टर और पिछले साल मैंने अपनी कंपनी शुरू की नेटिव लर्निंग. तो हम ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज बनाते हैं नेटिव लैंग्वेजेस में ऑफ पाकिस्तान और ऑफ द रीजन. तो ये हमारा एक्सपीरियंस है. बट we're really lucky to have some super seasoned entrepreneurs here that have been working in this space for a very long time. तो सबसे पहले I'd like to introduce Mohammed Zubair from Kino. You want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you.
Sure, thank you, Zair. So I'm Zubair. Hello, assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm the co-founder of Queno. So Queno, basically, its focuses on the communication and management sides of the schools. So हमारा जो particular vision, apart from Queno, we're like operating from 3 years now. Our vision was that we wanted to connect teachers and parents together. और फिर उसके साथ साथ जो एक schools के अंदर जो manual cultures चलता आ रहा है कि fee management है, assignments हैं, progress reports हैं. We wanted to do that completely automated through the mobile app and the software. So Queno is a mobile app जो कि ये schools के we serve this purpose now in COVID as well, of course. So we have accelerated our business, alhamdulillah, because now schools actually understand कि क्यों हम पिछले 3 साल से उनके पीछे पड़े हुए थे कि भाई online आ जाओ, and why they wanted to do that. And now they also understand कि Queno or any other software like this, it's not a replacement of a schools. It's just that we are actually facilitating you. हम आपकी help कर रहे हैं education quality को और बेहतर बनाने में. So now eventually people are now understanding. काश के we would be a proactive nation, but खैर we are now understanding and we're learning. So up schools are coming. So there are a few challenges that we'll obviously as we go further we'll discuss that. I'm not going to take much time. लेकिन बस वो कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो भी स्कूल से चल रही है but it's so far it's so good and we are trying our best कि हम जितने schools को इस कोविड के लॉकडाउन के अंदर भी we can bring them online and their classes could be start again.
Awesome. Okay, so मतलब आप basically kind of communication, infrastructure management, the learning management system उस side पे ज़्यादा काम करते हैं. Okay, great. That's very interesting. So we also have Lina Ahmed from Dot and Line. Lina, आप अपने बारे में थोड़ा बता सकती हैं?
So Dot & Line is an edtech startup. We hit market about a year and a half ago. Essentially what we do is that we take home-based women, we train them, certify them, and then using our curriculum and our product, they set up learning centers from their own homes. We also match them to students, much like a marketplace, but of course with coronavirus and the pandemic coming in, since it was a very physical model, we completely had to shift our operations to make it online. Now, this is something we were always thinking about going into the future. It was a vertical that was always in our mind. We were a little, thinking about whether parents would be ready to complete online mode of learning, but I think that push came in very early. And now we've completely switched to online learning. So in this, we had to retrain our entire teacher network and retrain the online teachers, which is very different to being a face-to-face tutor. And the second thing is, of course, have the entire sort of learning dissemination go online as well. So we have learning packs that are sent to the students. The classes are completely online, but essentially the quality of the model, which is our content and curriculum, that is the same. So it safeguards the teaching quality as well as the learning quality that's happening.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you initially, शुरू में आप kind of a blended learning model थे, and now you've had to go more into pure online, so getting a wider variety of the models of delivery. That's very, very interesting.
Yes. So we had to reach for them to be able to take the classes online, which was a quick pivot that was made. They struggled with it because, of course, Pakistani women and the way they were, the traditional way of learning is more face-to-face. So it was a little bit of a struggle then, which we can go into later. But
Sure.
That's essentially it.
Great. Next, we have Hassan bin Rizwan, CEO of Sabak. They recently launched the Muse app. So Hassan, you want to tell us a little about yourself and what you guys do?
Yes. Thank you, Zair, for inviting us to share our thoughts at this panel. My name is Hassan, and I'm the founder of Sabak, and we are building Pakistan's most comprehensive kindergarten to grade 5 learning app called the Muse Learning app. We've been at it for, believe it or not, a little over 4.5 years. Been through several experiments. We started doing edtech and tech-based learning, especially with tablets and self-directed learning with kids. Way back in late 2015, early 2016. And recently, what has changed in the way we reach out to our students is that earlier in 2019, our focus was more on enabling schools with our technology so they could increase engagement and then improve the scores and learning outcomes of kids, in kindergarten grade 5 for all the 4 core subjects, math, science, English, and Urdu. But since the school shut down, we already had plans to launch the B2C version of the app, which is more appealing for kids and for parents to do supplementary learning at home. And we did the beta launch.
Sorry to interrupt. B2C meaning exactly what?
B2C is a market lingo that represents business to consumer or business to customer. Earlier, we were more focused on B2B and B2G, which is more business to government and business to business, like schools. So when we were focusing more on the consumer, then we had to make a few tweaks in the product. Then COVID happened in March, and we just made our platform available, open and free for anybody and everybody. That brought in thousands of new users from all across Pakistan, even outside of Pakistan. And that opportunity allowed us to start linking our app with the Sindh government. So just about 3 weeks ago, what we did, we created a separate version of our app with improved features specifically for the audience in Sindh, like language options to be able to navigate the app in Urdu, Sindhi, or English. And we launched that version with the Sindh government. So the Sindh government, for the first time, in Pakistan, any government, provincial or national, has adopted an existing third-party private solution as their own solution. And this was launched by the Sindh minister in the third week, right before Eid, third week of May. And now we are in conversations with them how to bring all of their students, schools, head teachers, and their district education officers on the platform, and how to continue building and improving the experience that is specific for that audience. So we now have 2 products. One is available for anybody and everybody, and it will be a paid app, a freemium app with some paid features, some free features, and then a specific product that is an offshoot, a spin-off of what we've been building, but that will take a more refined shape specifically for the Sindh schools context.
Okay, interesting. So basically, अब आपके पास you've been working with governments and organizations, just as schools. तो उनके लिए अब आप ज़्यादा custom offerings कर रहे हैं, especially in Sindh with this new launch. And now you're also selling your learning app, your primary school learning app, directly to consumers.
Yes, and with that, we have partnered up with Telenor. And we'll be launching with Telenor a sort of a combined product.
Sorry, Hassan, आपकी आवाज़ mute हो गई है.
Yeah. Sorry, there was a phone call coming in. So with the options for consumers to directly pay from their available balance on the Telenor, if they're a Telenor customer.
Okay, wow, that's really awesome. Okay, so next we have Sana Farouk, who's the director of the e-learning network. Sana, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you guys do?
Yeah, sure. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Thank you to the Nest for hosting this and inviting us. So I'm the founder of ELN, the e-learning network. We're actually based out of the UK. So our main market is outside of Pakistan. And I guess with me being in Pakistan and operating wholly outside of Pakistan, I think less than 1 or 2% of our business actually comes from Pakistan. So basically that kind of made me aware of the importance of like online learning, and as well as online learning like internally, setting up operations, even hiring, dealing with like our team and everything's been remote since ELN started around 2015. So internally and externally, we are a completely online company, and it was very interesting to see that when Corona hit, there were regions where, so we were doing really well in Europe and the UK, which is our main market still, but there were other regions which kind of pushed back and weren't ready for like completely vocational training being completely online, not having any kind of like a hybrid which is what we have to do for any of the trainings that we did in Pakistan, as well as that we offer like e-learning services in the Middle East and Pakistan region. So obviously the convincing, not a convincing that we had to do for clients to actually tell them that this is something that you need, like having an LMS if you're a school, or if you're even like a other corporate, having a portal where your employees or your trainers or your teachers can actually learn and keep updated. We had to really, really justify it in these regions. But when Corona hit, I mean, I think we were really lucky that we were already completely set up to operate online internally. So actually, it didn't affect us in that sense. But actually, with regards to making the sales and the product offering, we didn't have to pivot as such. We just had to change kind of like our message and our marketing. And actually, it became easier for us, ironically. Which I mean, it's something of an echo of what Zubair said about Quino, that you've been trying to convince people of something for the last 3-4 years, and all of a sudden everyone's like, aha, right, so wo jo aap baat keh rahi thi na, it's we do actually need it. You're right, it's important. So it's good to have that validation, and it's good to kind of see that the vision that we set out to working with. I mean, I guess we're a little bit different in the sense that we don't directly deal with children. Our main target market is actually existing professionals in the workforce, and currently we're offering courses in pre-service, in-service education and training, teacher training, or train the trainer, as well as assessment, educational quality assurance and management, as well as occupational health and safety and entrepreneurship. So yeah, that's it for us.
Okay, interesting. So basically, e-learning network, आप online courses offer करते हैं in education या health या different vocational spaces with certifications, और आपका main target है foreign Western countries and the Middle East.
Well, yeah, and that's because they were easier to convince. Well, as in they were ready for the platform when we launched it.
Right.
I mean, we don't mind offering it here, but yeah,
Sure.
Issue of convincing the target market.
Sahi. Okay, so I think I've never been in a meeting, I think, with more diverse cumulative experience in education technology. So हम सोच रहे थे कि we'd kind of just do this a little casual. So this is a list of interesting topics जो audience भी आप देख सकते हैं. And I thought, सबसे पहले I would start, and then we can kind of go through एक-एक. और कोई भी टॉपिक आप ले सकते हैं और उसके बारे में हम थोड़ी डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, and anyone who wants to take it in a different direction, so definitely we can do that as well. But I wanted to start first about the shortcomings of education technology right now and the industry right now. इतना हमारा काम इतना होता है कि हम हर जगह जाते हैं और हम traditional education की shortcomings के बारे में बात करते हैं. That's like a lot of what we do. So I wanted to talk right now about what do you think are the shortcomings in our industry right now. So one thing that I'll mention is kind of a low-hanging fruit. I'm going to take the easy one. Is obviously the internet, right? Or even educating people on how to be digitally literate, which is a part of, I feel, our industry. मैं availability की बात नहीं कर रहा, but just internet fluency, digital fluency. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention. But anyone else wants to talk about the shortcomings of our industry? Abhi kya kami?
Sure. I'll okay, go ahead.
No, please go. No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'll do after you.
Okay. So एक जो बड़ी एक चीज जो मुझे लगती है, आपने जुमला यूज किया and you used the word industry. So I would like to stop you and make you pause because I don't know if it's an industry yet. It's just a group of people who are trying to do something. Because when you look at the industry, it has to have the entire value chain. There has to be academic doing research. कि पाकिस्तान के context में digital learning के क्या platforms हो सकते हैं. There has to be, degrees offered by Allama Iqbal Open University, Virtual University, LUMS, specifically in how to create digital content. There has to be certification agencies that are authorizing who's creating good validated content, who's not creating good validated. What we really have is just a small sub part of an industry which is the education industry. और अगर आप evolutionary beginning देखें in the US, if I could go back Sesame Street 60s से, you can sort of pinpoint that that's when technology and use for education and that started. So they have had 60 years to catch up and to learn and to establish that industry. अगर आप पाकिस्तान में देखें तो earliest अगर television के ऊपर आप देखें तो बहुत ही early stage में maybe सिम पाकिस्तान के नाम से सेसमी स्ट्रीट का ऑफशूट बनना था, कुछ अरसे चला. उसके अलावा अगर आप देखें तो टॉफी टीवी was one of the pioneers in creating and producing lovely videos, but sadly there was no funding and they couldn't scale up. And then there have been people like us, Knowledge Platform. Lena is here. She's been at it for quite a number of years. You have Taleemabad doing wonderful work. And then, Zubair and others, and like you bringing up and coming up with these. So one of the biggest problems that I have faced is finding people who have joined our team, bringing on board their experience of creating content on the digital platform. And that nobody has, because no other organizations have formal training programs. ऐसी कोई, we don't have like an Apple or a Microsoft in Pakistan job कहें कि यार जो बंदा भी इधर गया है वहाँ से उठा के ले. Like TRG in Pakistan is a certified organization. You can pick anybody from TRG and say कि भाई call center चलाना TRG का बंदा उठा लो. वो इतनी training कर देंगे कि वो बंदा will come fully trained. I don't think we or the Knowledge Platform or Taleemabad have reached that level where we say, oh, वहाँ से कोई बंदा उठा लो, बस उसको भी सिखाना नहीं पड़ेगा. He'll come, she'll come, and they'll start producing brilliant content. तो एक तो value chain में वो बड़ी missing है. We all have to spend money from our pocket to train people, and that too, we don't have formal procedures. We just have things that we have learned, ideas that we have. They haven't been validated. So value chain में supply of resources that produce brilliant, beautiful content, I think एक वो piece missing. So I'll stop here for now.
Yeah, I think the maturity of the industry, formal training, I think these are absolutely brilliant points, that it's more of a cottage industry of passionate people. Great. Zubair, आपको भी कुछ कहना था?
I think वो मुझसे पहले शायद लीना कुछ कह रही थी, but उनका म्यूट था तो वो मेरी आवाज पहले आ गई शायद. But Lena, you can continue.
Lena, you want to chime in?
I was actually thinking of moving forward from this point. If you really look at the history of EdTech, not from the Wikipedia days, but really focus down to the history of EdTech as focused EdTech. It's been about 19 to 20 years globally, and you can sort of chop that up into three phases. First, starting off with supplemental videos. Then the next phase came, which was a little more immersive learning. So you had curriculum and content thrown in, you had analytics and testing thrown in. So that gave you a little bit more of a wholesome picture. And then even further, if you look at it, in the third phase, it goes into personalized learning. And now with AL and virtual reality and all of that coming in. So that's where globally it's headed. But if you really look at Pakistan, as Hassan already mentioned, we are very early in a quite a nascent stage. So, I mean, you mentioned bandwidth and internet, and we've struggled with that. I'll just go to our own learnings from dot in line going completely online. I think that teachers, content, as well as the way children perceive online learning is also missing.
Yes.
Child, as you see globally, where children are very, very familiar with sitting down on an app or maybe going at it for an hour or sitting in an online class, we are not there yet. So those struggles, in addition to what Hassan mentioned about content creation, we've struggled with that too. I think at the senior level, everybody understands and has done enough research globally and is passionate enough to look at how you want the quality of your content created within the company. But again, when you're hiring people, no one has really made content before. So that's definitely also been our struggle. But moving forward from there, looking at the market that we're in, these students are also, and homes are not completely equipped to be able to deal with a semi or a completely tech solution. So I think that, in addition to what you mentioned, which was internet and all the other systems that we have that are not fully present for us, I think children being very equipped, and now you're seeing them, like for us at least in our classes, within 5 days you could see parents saying, nahi, nahi, ye kaam nahi kar raha, ye yun nahi seekh raha, he's not listening to the teacher online, he's moving. Where is his learning space now, or her learning space? Suddenly it's not a classroom. So you have to kind of get them used to the fact that, hey, your learning space is this little nook where you have this new ornament, which is going to be your tablet or laptop, and your teacher is going to be in the screen. These are all really new things that they need to get used to. It took about a week for our kids, but I think what parents saw was that it's doable. Having said that, it's a long road to go. You know, we haven't, our society is not equipped to deal with this. So as I also see EdTech completely, the only way for EdTech to be relevant is for you to keep evolving. And so having that struggle of not having enough people with experience, but at the same time also being evolving through your own customer insights, I think would be a challenge in the future. And we are completely, you know, refine ourselves based on our own customer insights. So, I mean, those are the thoughts that came to my head immediately from what we've experienced in the last 2 months, I would say, completely going online.
Interesting, interesting. Zubair?
उज़ैर, ये जो है ना एक्चुअली बड़ी दुखती रग पे हाथ रखा है आपने, पहले ही जो सवाल किया है ना, तो ये आपने जवाब से भी अंदाजा। सो मेरी तो प्रॉब्लम बड़ी, हम तो बड़ी डिफरेंटली फेस करें स्कूल में, एज यू सेड अबाउट इंटरनेट, बट आई पर्सनली बिलीव हमारी एक्सपीरियंस के साथ कि एज लीना ऑल्सो मेंशन, शी इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट कि यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हमारे अनफॉर्चुनेटली पेरेंट्स के एंड से, टीचर्स के एंड से भी है कि व्हेन स्कूल्स वांट टू डू समथिंग न्यू, दे वांट टू गेट सम न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी या कोई चीज़ें, तो एक इतना बड़ा रिलेक्टेंट एक अवाम का प्रेशर आता है दूसरी तरफ से कि दे आर लाइक कि यार ये तो चीज़ छोड़ दो, हम ये नहीं कर सकते। मैं आपको एक छोटी सी एग्जांपल दूं, जैसे सेड अबाउट इंटरनेट, तो इंटरनेट की तो चीज़ चले है, उसके अलावा जैसे फोन, अब हमने ये क्वेनो की जब ऐप और ये चीज़ें कर रहे थे तो पेरेंट्स का कंप्लेन, हमारे पास स्मार्टफोन्स नहीं है, हमारे पास तो ये चीज़ें नहीं है, जिनके पास स्मार्टफोन्स नहीं है वो क्या करें। अभी कोविड का चल रहा है, वही स्कूल्स, उन्होंने पेरेंट्स को कहा, मैंने स्कूल्स को बेसिकली कहा, सो व्हाट क्वेनो डिड इज वी मेड अ पॉलिसी फॉर द स्कूल्स कि आप किस तरह से अपने स्कूल को ऑनलाइन ले जा सकते हैं, ये सारे टूल्स हैं इंक्लूडिंग क्वेनो, और ये स्टेप्स हैं जो आपको लेने चाहिए और आप करें। व्हाट स्कूल्स डिड इज कि मैंने स्कूल से कहा कि आप सिंपली पेरेंट्स को कहा, यू डोंट हैव अ स्मार्टफोन, यू डोंट हैव एन इंटरनेट, अब हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते, आप मुसल्ला बिछाएं, अल्लाह से दुआ मांगे कि नाउजुबिल्लाह ये अजाब से हमारे घर पे आया, क्योंकि अब तो कोविड है और हमारे पास तो अब नेट भी नहीं है, फोन भी नहीं है, तब क्या करें, बस ठीक है फिर अब आप बच्चा निकलवा दें, फीस भी ना दें, लेकिन स्कूल तो ऑनलाइन जा रहा है, अब हम तो पढ़ा रहे लगे हैं, और अगर आप फीस पे करेंगे तो हम आपके बच्चे की आईडी दे रहे हैं, आप पढ़ाना शुरू करें। उज़ैर, बिलीव मी, द नेक्स्ट डे पेरेंट्स वर कमिंग टू द स्कूल्स, दे वर पेइंग द फीस। अब मुझे बताओ कि एक रात के अंदर स्मार्टफोन कहाँ से आ गया, कौन सा इंटरनेट लग गया, ये कहाँ से ये मैजिक हो गया। द प्रॉब्लम इज कि एजुकेशन इज द लीस्ट प्रायोरिटी, सिर्फ स्कूल्स में नहीं, पेरेंट्स के लिए भी। हमारे यहाँ अभी भी जो स्कूल्स, जो ये लोग कह रहे हैं ना कि स्कूल्स खोल दो, दैट इज अ कंप्लीट अगेन अलग डिबेटेबल टॉपिक है, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ मैं कहूँ कि जो पेरेंट्स या जो मदर्स कह रही है ना, मैं ये खुद अपने कानों से जो सुन चुका ना वो बता रहा हूँ, लाइक कि यार बच्चा घर में 5 घंटे में परेशान कर रहा है, अच्छा था सुबह में चले आता था स्कूल। So they send their kids to the schools not for the learning maybe, but कि यार 5 घंटे थोड़ा हम सो जाएं सुबह, हमें थोड़ी हमारी जनरल रिलैक्स। So having said that, I think कि shortcomings हैं, yes there are the failures with things, but मुझे लगता है कि कोविड से हम सबको ये तो एटलीस्ट सीख जाना चाहिए कि एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री में, अब आप देखें ना, एक ये अभी हमारा वेबिनार हो रहा है, इसके अंदर लीना के पास डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट है, क्वेनो डिफरेंट दे रहा है, सना का आप देखें, सबक पे आप देखें, आपका अपना उज़ैर का वो, ये तो हम सिर्फ ये 5-6 लोग हैं जो हम ये चीजें बता रहे हैं, इस वक्त 500,000 और प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो मार्केट में इवॉल्व कर रहे हैं, सो दैट मीन्स के काम तो हो रहा है एडटेक में। इट्स ऑल दैट वी हैव टू बिकम एक्सेप्टेबल नेशन कि अब हम नई नई चीजों को जाएं, एंड ऑल्सो इन द लास्ट के प्लीज डू नॉट थिंक कि ये सारी टेक्नोलॉजी स्कूल्स को रिप्लेस कर रही है। द प्रॉब्लम ये है कि लीना जाके अगर स्कूल में बताती है तो देर लाइक नहीं लीना को अंदर नहीं आने दो, अगर तो इसका हमने चीज से पढ़ाना शुरू कर दिया तो पेरेंट्स बच्चों को स्कूल से ना निकाल दें, अगर सना ने टीचर्स को ट्रेन कर दिया तो ये टीचर्स तो सना अपना स्कूल खोल के बैठ जाएगी, अगर क्वेनो से ही लोगों ने पढ़ना शुरू किया या अगर सबक का करिकुलम किया तो हमारे पास बच्चे क्यों भेजेंगे। They don't understand this कि you have to come up and compete with the world's edtech and the education curriculum और content वाली चीजें, you have to come up with this, वरना तो पाकिस्तान का फिर ये तो हम किस तरह इसको evolve करेंगे। So I think कोविड का बहुत नुकसान है, सब कुछ है, बट आई थिंक फॉर एडटेक, फॉर द एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री, आई पर्सनली बिलीव कि यार ये तो ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज जो कहते हैं ना, ये वो चीज बन के आई है, हमें समझ आ रही है इस चीज से।
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, I'm gonna move on. So the next person on my list, so Lina. So it's your turn. You're the first one up. So you want to choose a topic, and then हम उसके बारे में थोड़ी बात कर सकते हैं. There, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Zubair like 5 points because he just gets 5 points because that was a nice story.
ये मुझे तो डर लग रहा है कंट्रोवर्शियल ना बन जाए मेरे लिए, मेरे तो स्कूल ने भी ज्वाइन किया हुआ, ये मुझे भी फोन करके ना कहेगा तुम जाओ बाहर।
All right, Lina.
Uzair, please also check the chat section. There are a lot of questions from the audience.
Okay. Where?
Lena, sorry, you are mute actually.
Give me 1 second, guys. Attendees. Yeah, there are quite a few. Give me 1 second, guys.
Can I take the questions first?
Uh-oh. Let's just check on what's going on over here. So yeah, we have a lot. I'm just going to take a quick break. We're going to talk to you guys about let you guys know what everyone's saying. So, speak a little closer to the mic. सिर्फ अंग्रेजी में बात नहीं करें. School system, उसके बारे में थोड़ी बात करते हैं. School system का क्या वो होगा. Let's see. Regional languages के बारे में अभी हम बात करते हैं. Education platforms. So one thing to talk about, I'm just going to let you guys know क्या हो रहा है. तो काफी लोग बात कर रहे हैं कि big schools like Beacon House Foundation are coming up with their own thing and making it more of a khichdi. Is there anything that comes close to Khan Academy? And online classes for preschool students के कुछ सवाल हैं.
ये पक्का controversial बना के छोड़ेंगे मैं.
तो खैर, so you guys can take a look at that and weave these into to your responses. Like, Lena, you want to choose a question and I'll keep an eye out on the
I can't see the questions anymore.
yeah. Here you go.
So what do you want me to do? Choose a question for myself?
Yeah,
or for some...
sure. Yeah, choose a question for yourself and then we'll just talk about it.
Sure, yeah.
This is an interesting topic though, ये जो Beacon House का ये सब अलग-अलग कर रहे हैं. That's interesting.
Uzair, I would like to comment on this Beacon House wala question.
Sure.
So I'll go for how do you learn?
Okay. तो लीना, आप कैसे अपनी जिंदगी में continuous learning का environment पैदा करती हैं?
So I think the concept of learning comes very early in life. And I think that that's when a child either associates learning with an instruction or learning with a constant exploration. And I think, I'll go back to my own work experience and how Dotted Line came about. So I did my master's in social policy and development from LSE, moved on to Acumen where I worked on the health and education portfolio. And then I was working at a literacy center for about 3.5 years, really looking at how students and how little ones blend, decode to learn how to read. And that's when Mahin and I got started talking about what do we see around us as maybe gaps in learning. Why do children associate learning with thakavat and nahi padna, and why is there that gap between them? Why are they not excited to learn? And I think that really comes from the person you're learning from. I always whoever I learned a lot from being etched in my memory. मतलब कि कभी मैं भूली नहीं हूँ लोगों से जिनसे मैंने अच्छी तरह पढ़ा था, and the subjects that I ended up loving were also from teachers that were fantastic. So I think that really was a large part of Dotted Line's philosophy, that whoever we bring on board as teachers, they have to love children and they have to love teaching. And that has to be something that's completely ingrained in the person that's disseminating the teaching. And you'll see, if you look at most Scandinavian countries, teachers are well paid. It's a very honorable job to have. And so that was a core part of what we wanted to ingrain in our philosophy, which is where the trained and certified tutor comes from. So we look at Dotted Line having our own trained and certified tutors. We have a very comprehensive and robust training for each woman to come on board. These are educated women. They come, they learn the philosophy on how to perceive children, how to get them motivated, how to perceive learning, how to celebrate mistakes. These are all things that I think, they're ingrained a little differently from where we come. And so that kind of rewiring of the teacher is a core part of our model. And then the second part is that whatever you're learning, the content, the materials that you have in front of you, they've got to be exciting. It is no child's fault if they are not learning or doing well. It is everybody else's fault. So either the content isn't good enough.
Bravo. I want to give you a medal for saying that.
This notion of, oh, mera bacha, is not doing well in school, not his fault, not her fault. Please look deeper into what the issue is. The teacher, the curriculum, is the content exciting? Are they learning? When they're reading a comprehension, is it about Sam and cupcakes and people that don't even sound like they're from the same space as us? Is there an Ali, a Fatma in there? Is there a Gola Ganda and Pakoda in there when you're reading about stories? This is what children want around them. They want content that they can relate to. They want to read about things that's in English or whether that's in math. If you're doing multiplication, figure out how to do it in a fun way, man. Like there's other ways of explaining multiplication to children, not just using numerals, but using creative things that are around their life. So I think that.
Okay, so let me ask a follow-up question. It's a little bit more personal, which is like, in your life as an adult right now, how do you learn new things right now? What resources are you using personally?
So I strongly believe that one never stops learning, right? So for me, it's been, and learning isn't just in one area. I'm quite a balanced person myself. So my learning comes from learning about the sector that I'm interested in. So education, it also goes into fitness. It also goes into nutrition. And I think the internet and just going online is a fantastic way for me to learn. I read a lot of books as well. But blogs, being online, researching, I'm really into just constantly looking up and digging deeper into topics that I enjoy in my life. And that's not just one area, but it's multiple. I think it all comes with the notion of learning, not stopping. The day you stop wanting to learn, you are redundant. So it comes from that notion that you constantly, and now we have all the resources. And even when we look at all the startups here, I don't even believe a parent uses one mode of learning. It's multiple. So you could be using, Queno in school because schools are going digital. You could be coming back and, doing something online through an app, which maybe Sabak is giving. I don't think there's only one solution. I think that is the EdTech, that you have so many options at the click of a button in your hand, on your laptop, that it is all accessible to you and you can pick and choose what you like. So I think that's how I do it. That's how I do it. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Anyone else? Or किसी को बताना आप कैसे सीखते हैं अपनी ज़िंदगी में? Since we lead these companies, we should, lead by example, right?
So I'd like to jump in on that. So
sure, real quick responses, guys.
Yeah, I really like what Lina said, and I mean with ELN, हमारा पाकिस्तान में जो काम है, उसमें हम कुछ बहुत important actually education को लेकर कुछ concepts introduce करना चाहते हैं पाकिस्तान में. One of them is like quality assurance in the management of education, which is a separate thing, but also CPD, continuous professional development, is an actual thing. आप चाहे plumber हो, आप electrician हो, आप gardener हो, आप teacher हो, आप lawyer हो, आप accountant हो, anywhere else in the developed world, CPD के minimum requirements होते हैं. आप degree याफ्ता हो गए, आप CEO बन गए, right? हमें लगता है कि हम जितना पढ़ते जाते हैं, बड़े होते चले जाते हैं, उतना हम सेठ बनते जाते हैं, उतना हमें और learn करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इसीलिए अक्सर चीज़ों में हम पीछे रह जाते हैं. And this was something I wanted to say in the shortcomings of EdTech. Like any technology will always have shortcomings because the situation is evolving. अभी कोरोना आ गया, कल कुछ और हो जाएगा. अभी सबके पास डिजिटल लिटरेसी आ जाएगी, इंटरनेट आ जाएगा, लेकिन कोई और चीज़ निकल आएगी, कोई और टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांस हो जाएगी. तो टेक्नोलॉजी तो हर वक्त इवॉल्व हो रही है. आई थिंक शॉर्ट कमिंग जहाँ पे है हमारी अपनी लर्निंग में, पाकिस्तान में खास तौर से जहाँ से हमने देखा है, इज बेसिकली आई थिंक इट्स द माइंडसेट. हम लोग क्या माइंडसेट ही नहीं है कॉन्स्टेंट लर्निंग का. CPD इज नॉट, even in multinationals, CPD is not implemented in the same way जिस तरह उनके head office दूसरी countries में करते हैं. यहाँ पे even multinationals जो अपनी ongoing staff training की जो policy रखते हैं, वो उतनी compulsory mandatory होके उतनी robust नहीं होती जितनी उसी कंपनी के for example स्विट्जरलैंड के head office के अंदर policy होगी, right? So वहाँ पे CPD के points होते हैं. And going back to something that Hassan said कि वहाँ पे कोई regulator ऐसा होना चाहिए जो actually online content को भी देखे कि भाई इसने बनाकर लगा तो दिया, ये अच्छा है भी कि नहीं, right? So the way I learn is by basically I have to maintain my CPD. तो मेरे sector में I have to do 20 hours of CPD per year. And that 20 hours of CPD cannot be just general like एक article पढ़ लिया या एक blog पढ़ लिया. So it has to be documented CPD जिसके points मिलते हैं. So for example वहाँ पे जो CPD के regulators हैं, आप अपना कोई भी वर्कशॉप या इवन ब्लॉग अगर आपको रजिस्टर कराना है, अपने आर्टिकल्स हैं, मैगजीन्स, न्यूज़पेपर्स हैं, आप उनको CPD से वेरीफाई कराकर अपने कंटेंट का एक स्टैंडर्ड बनाकर वहाँ से अप्रूव कराते हैं। फिर अगर मैं उसकी कोई वर्कशॉप करती हूँ या वहाँ की कोई ट्रेनिंग करती हूँ या वहाँ का कुछ भी पढ़ती हूँ तो मुझे 1, 2, 3, 10, 100 पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं, डिपेंडिंग कि वो कितना मुश्किल था या कितना लंबा था। तो बेसिकली जो पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट है, इट्स ऑल अबाउट standards, maintaining standards. और वो तब होता है, like Hassan said, when you have a complete cycle, regulators होते हैं, वो इंडस्ट्री को देख रहे होते हैं, लेकिन at the back side of all of this, चाहे वो shortcomings के बारे में बात करें हम या लर्निंग के बारे में बात करें या रिसोर्सेज के बारे में बात करें, आई थिंक माइंडसेट जो है ना हमारा स्टेक होल्डर्स का खास तौर से, I mean, I can talk a lot about my kids who are going to school. उनके अभी मंडे से ऑनलाइन स्कूल सारा ऑन हुआ है.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but it's all mindset of the stakeholders.
Yeah.
Schools who are trying to go online and who are trying, like the school that my kids go to, I chose that school because it doesn't have a huge brand name. लेकिन उनका विजन हमेशा से यही था. They were the first. जब 26 फरवरी को लॉकडाउन हुआ, उन्होंने instantly एडमोडो का प्लेटफॉर्म उठाया इंटरनेट से. अगले हफ्ते से हमारे सारे ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट्स भी हो गए, हमारे ऑनलाइन होमवर्क भी हो गए, सब कुछ हो गया. एंड इट्स दैट माइंडसेट, जहाँ स्टेक होल्डर्स ऐसे होते हैं, जहाँ वो फ्लेक्सिबल होते हैं, विजनरी होते हैं, वहाँ आप पेरेंट्स का हाल देख लें. नहीं, लेकिन हम आपको फीस दे रहे हैं, आप कर क्या रहे हैं? आप उनको फीस दे रहे हैं, अब वो MS Team पे लाइव क्लासेस हो रही हैं, पेरेंट्स को ये बुरा लग रहा है कि हमें साथ बैठना पड़ रहा है. इट्स द माइंडसेट. आई थिंक द एडल्ट्स, द पेरेंट्स आर नॉट एबल टू पिवट, आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर हमने ये लेवल एक तरीके से किया था, बच्चे किस तरह करेंगे, हमने इस तरह पढ़ा था, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन कैसे पढ़ेगी. इट्स ऑल माइंडसेट.
Okay, cool. So anyone else want to add a couple of 3 or 4 words on aap kaise seekhte hain?
I like to read and I like to watch videos. So I'm a big fan of binging on YouTube documentaries and science videos. I don't know where time goes. And then I like to, because there's so much information that comes in a video format. You need to have some time, some other way of learning and reinforcing whatever you learned with a video. So उसको मैं supplement करने के लिए then I like to read a similar article. और एक अच्छी तरीके, एक और चीज़ से जो मुझे हमेशा help रही है वो ये कि एक दिमाग में कीड़ा रह जाता है, because video is obviously asynchronous. If I have a question, I cannot pause that YouTube video and ask the presenter to answer my question. So when कोई ना कोई चीज़ रह जाती है तो I tend to pause videos and I go online and I look it up and I find out, oh अच्छा, फिर वो जो trail of learning होती है ना, sometimes those are the best.
YouTube
sometimes
plus
you're like
Wikipedia
and Google and then a website, and then you discover, oh, this guy did that, or he was also that, and then you start to make those connections, and so that helps.
Nice. Zubair, quick thoughts?
Yeah, videos. मैं किताबों का हमेशा से थोड़ा चोर ही रहा. Yeah, videos.
Nice.
किताबों को चोर रहे, like you used to, कि किताबें चोरी करते थे या किताबों से भागते थे?
पढ़ाई. मतलब मैंने इवन वो वीडियोस भी देखी हुई हैं जिसमें वो समझा रहे हैं कि किताबें पढ़ना से क्या क्यों जरूरी है, but
yeah. Okay.
That for me for a lot. Oh yeah,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, all you. I just wanted to wrap this up. मैं कह रहा था we have 15 questions and I think we don't have 15. Yeah, we got to move a little faster. We're not intending to go through all of these. This is more of a menu. But a couple of things that I wanted to touch upon. If you're moving to the next. Yeah. Languages. Yeah, number 5 पे बात करते हैं, languages. Role of Urdu or any other language in education, regional languages. And I think it'll strike a chord with whatever you are doing also. और इसके ऊपर अगर हमारे, because I'm also watching, by the way, I'm the only one who's responding to comments on the Facebook. So there are lots of people. There's a lovely chat going on Facebook also. Oh wow. Yeah, Facebook पे काफी अच्छी engagement है. And a couple of teachers also made comments. Ania is there and Bela Raza is there. So ये जो regional languages की कहानी है ना, ये parents really need to understand. Especially हम एक society में जहाँ पे urban communities में everybody wants के बच्चों को English language की understanding, early age से आए, and I fully support it if that is the language you speak at home. If you speak English at home predominantly, go ahead.
you know, lovely. But if you speak any other language, Urdu, Punjabi, Sindhi at home, तो early years की जो language skills है ना, वो बड़ा ज़रूरी है कि आप उस language में उनके साथ communicate करें, उनको सिखाएं. And I think jury is no longer out on this. There have been several papers, enough research done कि जो typically early years है. Now early years, you know, आज से 10 साल पहले maybe people were saying early years is 5 and above. Now people are saying early years is 6 months. 1 year, you know, immediately right after birth. So जो early exposure है, वो you should offer exposure to multiple languages, because जब तक आपका brain develop हो रहा है, up to 5 years you can absorb a lot of new synapses and connections. अब वो कहते हैं कि grammar is also like music, like tone deaf. Being tone deaf, it's one of those degenerative, genetic sequences that if you don't build them early on, then you can't really learn grammar at a later stage as effectively as you can at an early age. So a lot of exposure to languages is good, but early years key learning should be primarily in the language that the kids learn at home. Or wo confidence, what we don't talk about often is that students lose confidence. Why do you think a grade 4 student only wants to bug other kids in the classroom and is only waiting for the break time to go outside and play? Why do you think he's not taking interest? When he or she was the same child, when he was 5 or 6 month old, 1 year old, he would go around the room and touch everything. He would want to discover every little object, you know, identify what the shape is like, whether it's rough, whether it's shiny, whether if I break it, would it come down, would it go up? What if I pull something, would it come to me? What if I put something, would it break? So human beings, we are wired to learn. If a kid is not learning, multiple चीजें हो सकती हैं. जैसे Lina also alluded to this. It could be the environment, it could be the teachers, how you're engaging those students. It could also be that early years they just missed out on building that confidence. Now they're sitting in that classroom believing, मैं तो सीख ही नहीं सकता. आप में से कितने लोग हैं जो कहते हैं यार मैं मुझसे मैथ नहीं होती. I was never a math student. And it's one of those things that you take pride in. ये वो कहते हैं ना party poppers, like party में जाते हैं, that's the conversation starter. You want to start out and look like a cool kid because you never took interest in math. Dude, everybody does math every single minute. We're doing math right now. We're doing logical thinking every single second. So to say if we don't do algebra, it's stupid. Because every time you try to go for a slice of bread and you identify कि मैं दो निकालूंगा तो कितनी रह जाएंगी, you're doing algebra in your head. So to say कि algebra is something you run away from, it's only because the way it's taught and how in early years you fail to give that kid the confidence that he or she needs to feel comfortable sitting in a grade 4 class.
Yeah, मैं भी अपने थॉट्स थोड़े बोलूंगा इस पे, क्योंकि नेटिव लर्निंग हमारी कंपनी ज्यादातर यही काम हम करते हैं. हम ऑनलाइन कोर्स कंटेंट बनाते हैं इन द नेटिव लैंग्वेजेस ऑफ पाकिस्तान. वीव हेल्प्ड, हम पूरे कोर्सेज हमने बनाए, लाइक एंड टू एंड एसिंक्रोनस वीडियो कोर्सेज, जैसे शतरंज का कोर्स हमने बनाया इंग्लिश उर्दू सिंधी में. वी आर लॉन्चिंग अ हाउ टू गेट अ जॉब कोर्स विद rosie.pk इन अ कपल ऑफ वीक्स, और बहुत सारे लाइक इन इंग्लिश उर्दू सिंधी पश्तो पंजाबी. और मैं दूसरे एंगल से बात करूंगा, एंड वी बीन हेल्पिंग लम्स विद सम ट्रांसलेशन. द सप्लाई ऑफ इंटेलिजेंट regional speakers who can translate well, और उसको quality control करना, you know, और subject matter को translate किस तरह करना है. This is an area जो हमने बहुत time गुजारा है because there's just nothing there. मतलब सब कुछ खुद करना पड़ रहा है, एक translation. So from a supply side, I think we found a lot of issues in terms of really making it super efficient, और इसी पे हमने काफी काम किया है. So I think not just the need, the demand, not only that is so high, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं, in the early years, लेकिन supply side to really make regional education world-class level. उसकी curriculum, उसकी translation, उसकी standardization, long-term student outcomes. तो supply side पे भी, if there's more native speakers जो इस area में आना चाहते हैं, I think opportunity है. Okay, so anybody else want to choose another question? Zubair, आपको कोई और सवाल पूछना है?
Uzair, मैं ये Beacon House वाला question जो
आया हुआ है, yeah,
this one, and I'll merge that with your question over there. कि which tools are easier than more effective to use, Google Classroom, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. मैं उसको इन दोनों को थोड़ा quickly, I know we're short of time as well.
इस area में.
हाँ, so first of all, ये जो Beacon House वाली चीज़ है या City School या दूसरे चीज़ें, the guy is totally right कि ये जो खिचड़ी जो पकती है, the reason is again as I said earlier कि जब ये लोग ये सोचने लग जाते हैं कि Queno या दूसरी जो companies हैं, they are going to replace us. ये जो mindset है ना कि ये हम हर चीज़ खुद कर लेंगे, हर चीज़ हम खुद बना देंगे, ऐप भी हम खुद बना देंगे, content भी हम ही बनाएंगे, teachers को भी हम train करेंगे. this is the reason actually our industry is lagging behind. As I said कि हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी और लोगों की कमी नहीं है, हमारे पास वो उस माइंडसेट का मसला है, जैसा सना ने भी कहा था. So that guy is completely right कि they have made their app. I know I don't want to go into that personally. उसके अलावा और भी कुछ schools हैं जिन्होंने खुद की बना दी चीजें, वो कर ली. But the problem is कि जब आपको ऑनलाइन क्लासेस करनी पड़ेंगी, बाद में कोई और इश्यूज आ सकते हैं, आपको ऑनलाइन फी पेमेंट पे जाना है, आपको कुछ करिकुलम के डिजाइन करनी है, फिर आप क्या करेंगे? कब तक आप चीजें खुद ही अपने पास लेके ड्रैग करते रहेंगे? उसकी वजह फिर ये होगी कि इवेंचुअली यू हैव टू देन एडमिट, और फिर आपको तैयार रहना पड़ेगा उस चीज के लिए कि फिर पेरेंट्स एक दिन आके आपको कहेंगे, बल्कि एक दिन क्या अभी भी कह ही रहे हैं, वो ये आगे कहेंगे कि आपने फीस बढ़ाने के लिए अपनी खुद की चीज बना दी. This is the famous dialogue from every parent कि आप कोई भी नई चीज अगर लॉन्च करो तो they're gonna say you कि आपको फीस बढ़ानी थी इसलिए आपने नई चीज डाली. That is the only comment. आपकी एसजी का पेज, कराची स्कूल गाइड वगैरह का पढ़ लें, उसके अंदर आपको 500,000 कमेंट्स मिलेंगे जिसके अंदर सिर्फ ये लिखा होगा कि स्कूल माफिया, उन्होंने ऑनलाइन क्लासेस ले ली और ये ले ली और फीस बढ़ाने के लिए. That is, but the schools have to understand कि अगर ये माइंडसेट है सामने तो भाई वो खुद तुम उन शेर के मुंह में, मतलब वो मुंह डाल के खुद बैठ गए और उसके बाद कह रहे हो कि शेर हमें ना खाए. So this is not going to happen. तो एक तो चीज ये. Secondly, as you have asked, ये awesome creative tools for e-learning. So I personally believe कि Zoom is very easy and very user friendly for the schools, क्योंकि हम टीचर्स को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, पेरेंट्स को. एंड बाय द वे, अब जैसे लोग कहते हैं ना कि एक आध दफा मैंने जब इससे अलावा सेशंस होते तो पीपल सेड कि ये तो इसलिए इतना फोकस कर रहा है ऑनलाइन लर्निंग की, तो इसकी तो चांदी लग गई है, इसकी तो दुकान चल पड़ी क्योंकि अब तो ऑनलाइन सब आ रहे हैं और ये चीजें कर रहे हैं. बट भाई हम Zoom पे भी ट्रेन कर रहे हैं. Zoom इज नॉट माय कंपनी. हम तो दूसरी चीजों पे भी ट्रेन कर रहे हैं क्योंकि वी कंप्लीटली अंडरस्टैंड कि टीचर्स को, पेरेंट्स को Zoom भी डाउनलोड नहीं करना आ रहा. A very quick example, without calling a name of that person, but Uzair, we sent वो जो होता है ना कि उसमें हमने लिखा था ट्रेनिंग कि आप go to Play Store, Zoom, second पे स्कूल ने लिख दिया था Zoom. That teacher was actually zooming on the Play Store. She thought कि मैं वो zoom करूंगी ना, उसको बड़ा करूंगी तो ऐप आ जाएगी. Yeah, that's it. और फिर वो हमें कह रही थी कि आपकी ऐप आई नहीं थी. And then we trained her कि नहीं, you have to type Zoom. So ये चीजें हैं. So I personally believe कि Zoom is very user friendly. वो लोग जो कि शायद सवाल डालने वाले हैं या शायद सोच रहे हैं कि नहीं जी Zoom की सिक्योरिटी का मसला आता है, बीच में जो आया था ना, एक तो फेसबुक ने ये चीजें बड़ी आसान कर दी है लोगों के लिए. मैं एक स्कूल में दे रहा था, उन्होंने कहा नहीं जुबैर Zoom नहीं यार, कुछ अपना लेकर आओ, Zoom की सिक्योरिटी का मसला है. मैंने कहा भाई खुदा का वास्ता, Zoom की सिक्योरिटी पे तुम शक कर रहे हो, या हम वो लोग हैं, हम व्हाट्सएप, फेसबुक, उसके ऊपर हमारी हर चीज पब्लिक हुई हुई है. कोई वो जो सिक्योरिटी के ऊपर जो लोगों ने इश्यूज उठाए थे ना, वो लोग बहुत अलग लोग हैं, वो अपनी दूसरी चीजों के ऊपर भी सिक्योरिटी पे काम कर रहे हैं. So I personally believe Zoom is one very good thing. Google Classroom for the smaller schools जो कि एक ज़्यादा larger scale के ऊपर अगर चीज़ें digitize नहीं कर सकते, उनको सिर्फ ये करना है कि assignments देने हैं और बच्चों से assignments लेने हैं. They should use Google Classroom. But Queno is developing a feature like that. So इंशाल्लाह जब Queno ले आएगा तो फिर हम Queno को जाके सेल कर देंगे. But currently I believe कि वो लोग जिनको assignments share करने हैं और बच्चों से वापस लेने हैं सबमिट करके, they should use Google Classroom and the mixture of Google Zoom. I think ये ज़्यादा better combination है for the schools, average schools, क्योंकि यहाँ पे पाकिस्तान में जितने हैं majority.
Yeah, I also think just one quick note कि काफी जो institutions जो even अब LMS इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, they have no concept of SCORM, which is the technical specifications, and that अगर organization SCORM compliant e-learning content बनाने लगे ना, तो फिर वो dependent नहीं होंगे कौन सा LMS वो इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. Because then SCORM compliance allows you to just switch from LMSs. So that's something that is interesting. जो काफी लोगों को नहीं पता. This could be technical standards in e-learning industry.
Exactly. In the last few minutes, can I just merge a few of like this last comment
Sure,
with 6, 14 and 16. So we're talking about academic content as well as traditional teachers going online and particular subjects being more difficult to teach online. I mean, this is my favorite topic because this is something that we've even been facing in the West as well as in Pakistan. But I mean, my message to everyone who is currently scrambling to go online, I mean, going off of the fact that basically हमें actually पता ही नहीं है कि एक LMS versus दूसरा LMS में हमें benefits देखने क्या हैं. How are we choosing on what basis? Is it just price? ठीक है ना? When traditional teachers are going online, वो ये सोच रही हैं कि जब मैं क्लास में फर्ज करो कि manipulatives लेकर बच्चे को इस तरह ब्लॉक्स देकर मल्टीप्लाई या ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट करना सिखा रही थी, तो अब वो ब्लॉक्स में वर्कशीट पे बनाकर या उसका वो ऑनलाइन कैसे लेकर जाऊँ. सो कॉन्स्टेंटली हम भी जो ई लर्निंग सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, सम ऑफ द स्कूल्स दैट वर मेंशन्ड इन दैट क्वेश्चन, वी आर वर्किंग विद देम ऑन देयर लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स एंड देयर ई लर्निंग कंटेंट विद रिगार्ड्स टू डिजिटाइजिंग उनका कंटेंट भी, पर उनकी अपनी टीचर ट्रेनिंग के प्लेटफॉर्म्स हम उनको बना कर दे रहे हैं. तो ताकि उनकी अपनी इंटरनल टीचर ट्रेनिंग की वो हो. लेकिन the thing that people are not understanding is कि e-learning is not about just digitizing offline content. यही तो सारा मसला है. आप सिर्फ ये थोड़ी देख रहे हैं कि मैं एक सस्ता सा LMS ले लूं और ऑफलाइन जो कंटेंट था उसको पावर पॉइंट में या किसी भी तरह बनाकर मैं ऑनलाइन डाल दूं. यू हैव टू लर्न कि SCORM क्या है. यू हैव टू लर्न कि ऑनलाइन पेडागोजी इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम classroom pedagogy. E-learning design, instructional design is different when it's online. It's different when it's offline. For the same bacha, for the same adult, for the same subject. So agar if I'm training how to teach in a classroom, I do it completely differently. If I'm training how to teach online, PowerPoint presentation हमारी core वही है जो क्लासरूम में पढ़ाई जाती है. उसी PowerPoint के बेसिस पे पूरी स्टोरी बोर्डिंग होती है, फिल्म की तरह स्क्रिप्टिंग होती है, उसकी पूरी एनिमेटेड SCORM बेस्ड e-learning होती है. और कोई भी LMS चूज करने से पहले LMS के अंदर हमें एक्चुअली चाहिए क्या, हमें करना क्या है. हमारे बच्चे लोनली फील करते हैं, हमारे ग्रोन-अप्स भी लोनली फील करते हैं. One of the problems that people have with quality academic content online is not how technical or how detailed it is, या उसके अंदर कितने PDFs हैं और लंबे लंबे आर्टिकल्स हैं. It's how engaging it is. अब चाहे आप वो गेमिफिकेशन के थ्रू कर लें, आप वो ऑन स्क्रीन इंटरेक्शन के थ्रू कर लें, ऑनलाइन कंटेंट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ऑफलाइन कंटेंट. And those traditional teachers who are trying to go online or who are trying to bring their lesson planning online have to actually unlearn and relearn how to teach on a two-dimensional flat screen, right? Instead of having like loads of props and a classroom environment and all of that. तो उसके अंदर हमारी पूरी teacher training की cycle आ जाती है जो हम पढ़ाते हैं, and everything in each stage of that teacher training की cycle changes when it's online. So basically, I think the way, again, I couldn't agree more with Zubair's comments. So it's the mindset, the way people are even approaching the current solutions and they're coming up. वो जो खिचड़ी वाला comment था, वो खिचड़ी इसलिए बन रही है क्योंकि उसका जो underlying rationale है वो हमारे दिमागों में clear नहीं है. क्योंकि हमें online जाना पड़ रहा है तो हम जबरदस्ती online जा रहे हैं. जो दूसरे से खरीदना नहीं चाह रहे वो खुद बना भी रहे हैं. जो you know like एक खिचड़ी इसलिए बन रही है. Actually एक rationale होता है. Online learning का पूरा एक concept है. उसकी pedagogy different है. उसके लेसन्स अलग तरीके से प्लान होते हैं. बच्चे का अटेंशन स्पैन अलग तरीके से डील होता है. ग्रोन अप का अटेंशन स्पैन अलग तरीके से.
और सना, सॉरी आई एम कटिंग यू, जस्ट अ शॉर्ट पॉइंट इन दिस कि उज़ैर बात सिर्फ बनाने की नहीं है, ये लोग सिर्फ बना रहे हैं. ये दे आर जस्ट हायरिंग द डेवलपर्स कि ये ऐप बना दो.
एग्जैक्टली.
इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट द डेवलपमेंट ना, उसके बाद जो ट्रेनिंग है, उसके बाद जो
कंटेंट
है जी, उसके बाद जो कंटेंट है, they are just hiring the developers. वो तो 2-4 बंदे आपने पकड़ लिए 25-30 हज़ार रुपए की सैलरी पर, उससे एक ऐप खड़ी करवा दी. This is not the end result. This is not what we all are selling here.
Yeah.
और छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं, लाइक जब हम स्कूल के लिए e-learning बना रहे होते हैं वो कहते हैं नहीं लेकिन अब यहाँ पे हर जगह पे नेक्स्ट का बटन क्यों है. Why can we just not play the whole thing like a video? मैंने कहा कि आप इंटरेक्शन मिनिमाइज करनी क्या क्यों कर रहे हैं. अच्छा आपने ये यहाँ ऐसे क्यों डाला है. Wouldn't it be simpler अगर हम ये पूरा स्किप कर दें. मैंने कहा how will you tell if learning has happened? इमेजिन करें कि मैं वीडियो ऑन करके चाय बनाने चली गई, वापस आई, वीडियो खत्म हो गया और मैं आगे बढ़ गई अगले चैप्टर पे. हाउ विल यू एज एन इंस्ट्रक्टर टेल. तो ये सारी चीजें हैं.
Piggyback off of that too. That सिर्फ एक तो टीचर्स को सिखाना, but also दूसरी चीज के props जो होते हैं जो टीचर क्लासरूम में इस्तेमाल करती है या करता है, what replaces those to a certain extent? Pre-production, production, animation, effects, अगर asynchronous है. Even synchronous elements में भी चीजें हो सकती हैं. और ये totally different skill set है. This is what we've been dealing with when we've been working with institutions. के जो usually education departments underestimate करते हैं कि अगर उनको media की तरफ जाना है, whether it's games or whether it's video with effects या कुछ भी हो, content development organizations इसकी cost काफी underestimate करती हैं in our experience.
Yes.
Often.
Oh yes.
This is also a challenge. कि एक वीडियो बनाना तो आसान है. Yeah.
Hi. Just the 14th and the 15th point, and both of you have spoken to that as well. I think it has been, and just also to steer the conversation into a little bit of a positive direction.
Yes.
Struggle of, oh my God, ये सारी teachers थी, ये traditional teachers थी, as you stated in your question even, and now they've got to transition to online learning, which as Sana even mentioned, is a whole different ball game, right? It's not the same as teaching a child sitting at a table. Now, even though we built a really robust training around it, all of that happened, eventually it took a little bit of time for these teachers to get settled in. Zoom ki problems thi, just as Zubair mentioned as well. Again, getting used to all the different features. But I just want to say, and I had like multiple check-ins on this as well and spoke to my teachers, especially the senior ones. It has been phenomenal to see how quickly they have adapted and picked up on these little tech solutions that have actually made their lives so much easier. Just little friction that had to come in, that push, you know, try something new, move away from sitting at a desk, go ahead and try this. वो थी शुरू में friction काफी, and for us even we're like, how is this gonna pan out? But I think the quality of teaching has improved simply because they have so many sources and tools that they can literally put onto the screen. Their class, their content is looking so much more fun and interactive now. They are taking a lot more interest in the way
बिल्कुल. With technical handicap, अगर उनको हम, if we help them through that, then there's like this joy जो उनको होता है अगर, you know, वो master कर सकते हैं. And we've had this experience as well, exactly.
They're so happy at the way how different their classes are looking. They're almost looking like these beautiful presentations, you know, with sound,
exactly.
visuals, audio. It's like an immersive experience. And the second part is response from students. I think that for us, it's been a really positive experience in terms of student intake. So our student intake has more than doubled. Pehle, there was that initial, you know, like that push from parents ke nahi, humne online nahi karna. We gave a few incentives. We're like, you know, come on board, see, take a trial class, it's free. So you need to give those incentives for parents to come and try it, because as everybody's saying, the mindset is different. But I would say that the response from parents, especially once they've come on board and that 5-day period of kind of adjusting to the new learning mode has happened, is pretty good. I feel in terms of students sticking it out as well. Two really great indicators there is that now the parents can see all the content in their home, which was not happening before. It was all in another physical space. Parents को पता था कि बच्चे पढ़ कैसे रहे हैं, वो सारा invisible था, and I feel that's really improved the notion of how parents see education and kind of hits towards that mindset as well, that no, this is possible. People out there that make interesting content, this is what it looks like. It's right in front of you now. You see how your child is responding to the tutor, how good the tutor is. So for us, I would like to, as I said, wanting to steer the conversation into a positive, area. Teachers have responded really well. Student growth has been really exciting. We're looking to raise now, so I think that's also on the cards. We want growth to be fueled at the right time. It's happened at the time of the pandemic, but we do see this moving on as a core part of learning in Pakistan moving forward.
Uzair, and guys, panelists, there is a question about edutainment and how we can use games and quizzes to entertain the kids, because keeping their attention online and on online learning might be difficult. Would any of you like to address that, especially for early school children?
Absolutely. I was literally typing a similar idea.
As a parent to young children, just from that point of view, I gave my academic point of view, like online engaging content is different and it's a whole different ballgame. But as the parent to two children, I realized that when my children, met with this thing, एक तो corona lockdown, play dates पे नहीं जा सक रहे, बच्चों से नहीं मिल सक रहे, cousin से नहीं मिल सक रहे, काका से नहीं मिल सक रहे, मतलब they don't understand. लेकिन I think how children adapt and respond, बच्चों की जो flexibility है, we actually need to learn from that. I think a lot of the times हम अपनी anxieties or fears और जो हमारा अपना stress होता है, हम बच्चों पे project कर रहे होते हैं. From my children, at least what I've learned, and from the children, other children, like their friends who are going to this school that they're going to, the children are the least worried. They were the least stressed with all of the changes. They were the quickest to adapt. And actually, gamification, I always think, is part of interaction. Gamification is not the whole story. So just, and then it also depends कि आप gamification में कर क्या रहे हैं. Gamification की पूरी 8 levels of gamifications होती हैं, उसकी पूरी theory है. Implementing badges के इतनी दफ़ा जो है आप login करेंगे तो आपको 4 badge मिल जाएंगे, इतनी दफ़ा आप teacher का जवाब देंगे आपको 2 point मिल जाएंगे. That is a very superficial level of gamification. तो gamification भी अगर आप use कर रहे हैं, I would just suggest to people out there, actually study gamification theory. embed the 8 levels of gamification. Whatever you're doing, use multiple platforms. YouTube की वीडियो लगाना ठीक है, लेकिन SCORM भी सीखें क्या होता है. आर्टिकल लगा लिया है, PDF लगा लिया है, वो भी सीखें ठीक है, लेकिन उसमें quizzes भी डालें, टेस्ट भी डालें. और उसके अलावा, like I loved what one of my maths teachers, my kids did. She actually got my 7-year-old. She said, take a pen and paper, walk around your house and find as many nouns as you can. So she put a timer and she said, stay in the room so you can hear me. That is excellent adaptation to the medium that she was on, right? So, I mean, the change is happening, but I don't think we need to worry about the students. Actually, we need to worry about ourselves and how quickly we adapt, actually, as teachers, as parents. जो मैं mindset की बात कर रही थी, it's normally on our generation, it's not that generation. My daughter was teaching me how to use Microsoft Teams on by the day the first school day ended. They're very, very flexible, but gamification ke andar, that's a very long question. I know we're over time now, but there are 8 levels of gamification according to the initial theory, and at least study that and implement gamification properly if you're going to do that. That's what
I completely agree.
Yeah, continue, Lina. And then Hassan, you had some things to say as well.
No, I just wanted to say I completely agree with Sana on the notion that children adapt really fast. And I think looking at the root is then how is the larger scope of people going to adapt to it? A, the teacher, B, the parent. Once those two are kind of solidified, then the child will adapt really fast to whatever is set forth.
Yeah, Uzair. So so a little comment on this game. This is very, very close to what we do, and that's why I wanted to sort of jump in.
Absolutely.
Before we talk about people and kids like to play games, I can see on the Mac that you're sharing, I can see next to the video thing, there's a game icon, and maybe you were playing a game before this.
Oh, this is actually my Discord. This is how I use Discord to manage my team. But no, I got plenty of games on here. Metals, yeah, for sure.
So see, we have to ask this question: why do kids love games? Why does everybody love games? So it's this idea of finding flow. So there was this Polish, I believe, or some Eastern European psychologist. His name was Csikszentmihalyi, and he proposed this theory of finding flow, which is the right place where you have the right, you perceived amount of challenge really meets with your ability, your own competence. And we like to play games, those addictive games, because that gets us into flow. In a flow means that we feel कि जो challenge हमारे सामने है वो right amount of challenge है जो कि हम उसको address कर सकते हैं. And that continues to move forward in a sequential manner, and it goes up if the player is performing well, it comes down if you're not performing well. So that's what games are, and you're just automating the entire experience using technology. But at the end of the day, it's what you do when you ask a kid to go around with a pencil and a paper and identify how many nouns can you come back with. And if there was a way for the teacher to take that point and give feedback to the student, then it would become a game for the student, and the student would want to do level 2. Okay, now I need to do adjectives. Now I need to go look for other objects. So that's something that we have learned, and we have learned the hard way. First, a couple of years ago, we built hundreds and thousands of quizzes, short quizzes as formative assessment. के बच्चे videos देखते थे, books देखते थे हमारी app पे, so we could test their knowledge, give them confidence that they can move on. And then we decided to ask the same question, but in a gamified manner. So we've produced a few games in which it seems like you're starting to play a game, and you get to pick a rocket or a plane or a car, and that car goes into a race, and then about 2/3 of the space of the phone or the tab, there's a race happening, and every time, and at the bottom 1/3 you get an arithmetic question or a science question or some other question, and if you get the question right, your car moves, speeds up and it paces ahead of the others, and if you get it wrong, it sort of sluggishly stays behind. And that's only that little element that the child in that moment feels like that car really belongs to the child. We had noticed that students were more likely to complete the quiz and really take serious interest in it and try to score better if they saw that the car was going forward and was beating other cars. So this element of game design, gamification, I completely agree with Sana that there is a lot of learning that needs, that needs to be adopted by even people like us and game producers and content producers. But the element of game, if you really, bring it down at a very fundamental level, it's simply the idea of giving a challenge, then giving results, providing feedback, then increasing the challenge if the student has done well, and decreasing the challenge if the student is struggling.
I like
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. I wanted to add one quick thing here in gamification. This is something I'm really passionate about, even though I don't work in the space. But in my opinion, 8 levels हैं, right? But at the most basic level, a game is some type of assessment, some type of challenge, or फिर उसकी ranking, right? या उसकी pass fail या leaderboard. So for me, it's the assessments and then the badges and the leaderboards. एक example दूंगा, we'll move on. My favorite badge on Khan Academy. एक badge है Khan Academy पे and I have all the achievements on Khan Academy. I have like 4 black holes, everything. So if you get 6 questions wrong, and then you get 1 question right, that is like an achievement. It's like came back from the grave or something. So इस तरह से हम behavior students का gamification के ज़रिए हम बाकायदा like herd कर सकते हैं उनको, to chase the right achievements. तो खैर ये बहुत लंबी कहानी है. Okay guys, so I just wanted to wrap up with one last question. और फिर maybe हम अगर time हो आपके पास तो हम comments को भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा देख सकते हैं. But number 18, and I want everyone to quickly give their thoughts on this. EdTech in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, आपकी क्या सोच है, कहाँ होगा यहाँ पाकिस्तान में? What are you guys envisioning and girls envisioning?
Should I start?
Let's start at the bottom. Let's start at the top. Sure, Zubair, you wanna go?
Yeah, I think Uzair, as Lina also said, कि positive चीज, so that is true. कि ये जो चीज जो positive अब हमारी society में आई है ना, I'm seeing schools के अब उन्होंने internet की speed बढ़ा दिया है, अच्छा internet लगा दिया है, gadgets खरीदनी है video records करने के लिए, teachers are getting interest, अब वो कर रहे हैं वो काम, बच्चों का भी, parents का भी इसी तरह से, so that is true. But I just hope कि ये चीज ऐसे ही चलती रहे. It's not something कि COVID खत्म तो फिर ये चीजें भी खत्म, कि it was just for the emergency things, कि ये जो है ना लाइट गई थी तो जनरेटर चला दिया, लाइट आ गई तो जनरेटर वापस बंद कर दिया. This shouldn't be like that. It should be like you should continue this. So if this continues like this, inshallah, I'm hopeful that within 5 years we are going to see a very good industry in Pakistan as well. At least at tech, यानी technology और ये schools की space को साथ में मिलके काम करना पड़ेगा. कि technology should be the standard, and I'm seeing this, by the way, inshallah after 5 or 10 years, at least कि parents should go to a school and they should not ask कि वो अब उनके schools के brochure पे मुझे जो अगले 5 साल के बाद नजर आ रहा है, वो brochure पे swimming pools और AC वाली classes की तस्वीरें नहीं होंगी, बल्कि वो technology की होगी कि हम इससे पढ़ाते हैं, अगर school off हो गया तो हम ये करेंगे, हमारे पास ये trained teachers हैं. This should be the selling point of the schools. So I think कि inshallah, but having said that, Uzair, the main the question actually is कि उस 5-10 साल में बाकी दुनिया कहाँ होगी. So eventually actually पाकिस्तान तो follow कर, अब we say कि यार पाकिस्तान 20 साल 50 साल पीछे चल रहा है इंग्लैंड के, US के, कनाडा के. So we have to also overcome that, and we have to come कि ये नहीं कि 5 साल के बाद ठीक है हम कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी तो अडॉप्ट कर लेंगे, लेकिन ऐसा ना हो कि हम 5 साल के बाद सिर्फ स्मार्टफोन यूजर्स ही हों और तब तक दुनिया शायद स्पेस में कहीं घूम रही हो. So we also have to maintain that, but I'm sure inshallah I'm seeing a very positive change in our edtech industry.
All right, Lina, you're next on my screen. तो आप थोड़ा आपके ज़हन में 5, 10, 20 साल में edtech क्या होगा?
Well, I just want to take a step back. I feel like it's not just edtech; it's also fintech, health tech. Just Mahin and I were just looking at the amount of payments coming to us that have come, just through bank transfers now, and fintech is also being used. That push has come through. So I feel the other areas also kind of there's a flow into a positive flow towards us there as well. But what I do see is that looking at our own experience of everything going on online, as Zubair mentioned, जिस parent को problem हो रही थी internet की, उन्होंने कोई Zonk का device ले लिया, जिस teacher को समझ नहीं आ रही थी, वो अपने खुद hacks डाल के they're kind of moving with the system. But fast forward 5, 10, 20 years, I see schools becoming very moving towards tech. It's happening now as we've spoken about it, but I see that tech becomes more and more, and not just stagnated tech, but just kind of evolving really fast, because we have been hit by something that's quite unprecedented. It's not anything we've seen before, not anything like we've seen before. I also feel there will be a new normal after this. I feel there will be a new normal. There'll be parents who may feel comfortable with not sitting in a car and going to, take some after school classes, but rather they feel it's more efficient for the child to just take it online, or the way schools run as well. I feel that sort of thrust that we've received right now in terms of being creative, innovative, a lot of startups have had to pivot to survive, and with that comes creativity. So I really see EdTech evolving fast. I see a lot of positive adoption for EdTech, which is kind of helped now, but I see it moving forward as a really viable option to make lives easier and learning easier for Pakistanis.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all hoping for that. Sana, what do you think? 5, 10, 20 years, kya hoga?
In 5, 10, 20 years, EdTech is growing by leaps and bounds. And I mean, I really hope in the next 5 years is short term when you're talking about like national scale education sector. 5 years, I would really hope that basically, abhi hum baat kar rahe hain individual schools ki, bachon ki, parents ki, teachers ki, but going back to the initial point by Hassan, I mean, that is one of my passions. When you talk about like educational leadership and management, I really hope that in the private sector, the stakeholders, in the public sector, जो education के ministers हैं, जो करने वाले लोग हैं, जो हमारे public sector के ghost schools हैं, जो हमारे rural
Hello? Uh-oh. Sana?
Yeah, I think she's frozen.
Yeah. Hassan, you want to continue? And Sana,
Okay.
If I'm juggling two markets like UK and Pakistan.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I disappear?
Yeah, you did for a bit.
So one was like internal short term, but like overall, I really want to know, okay, if I'm running a multinational startup and I'm serving 25 countries, I always have to talk about what we're doing outside of Pakistan and what we're doing in Pakistan. And it's really frustrating for me as a Pakistani to know that I can do so much out there in the world, but then in Pakistan, I have to limit myself and reduce my offering. I hope in the next 5, 10, 20 years, Pakistan can join the world. We can take that leap in mind, but there's so much more involved. There's mindset, there's, I mean, uske andar to itne problems aa jate hain ki usko abhi discuss bhi nahi kar sakte, but it's my hope that we are able to take that leap, we're able to jump and come abreast of the world, raise our educational level, raise our mindset, raise our literacy. I honestly believe that in the next 10, 20 years, we can actually do that. And next time when I'm talking in 20 years, we do this panel again, and I can just say, around the world, including Pakistan, this is what happens and this is how people are coping. I just hope Pakistan can do that.
Hassan?
Okay, so काफी सारे comments आ गए, and 5 is, as Sana also said, it's really short period of time. What I see in 5 years is maybe some of these schools are using tech more frequently. They have maybe some kind of a Queno का अपना ही system है that brings teachers and schools and parents together. There's feedback given. So 5 years, you can easily say कि maybe जहाँ neighboring country India जहाँ पे है, maybe we'll be there in 5 years. तो वो 5 years तो इतना I think significant नहीं है. But I really want to talk about the 20-year thing, and that's where I have this vision of what schooling and learning would be like, and I really want to share that vision. So in my opinion, learning will be completely transformed. And I'm not limiting myself to Pakistan. It may happen in Pakistan, it may not happen in Pakistan, but like globally, schools will not be places where instruction is delivered to each student in a standardized model where every student coming in from different, differentiated learning अभी किसी भी, classroom में नहीं हो सकती. थोड़ी बहुत teachers कर लेती हैं कि groups बना लेती हैं, कोने में 5-6 बच्चों को अलग कर लिया, remedial learning पीछे चली गई. But what would be happening कि learning जो है वो किसी automated, adaptive, personalized, machine learning, AI based platform होगा जिसमें lots of video content होगा जो बच्चे की need based deliver हो रहा होगा, उसकी कोई assessment होगी, उसकी basis पे scaffolding हो रही होगी. किसी बच्चे को हम 60% की passing rate पे आगे जाने नहीं देंगे. For instance, एक बहुत अच्छी बात सलमान खान खान अकेडमी, Salman Khan कहता है कि would you be willing to go to a surgery room if you found out कि जो आपका surgeon है, he only knows 70% of how to perform the surgery that he's about to perform? You wouldn't. But we are okay with sending our kids and students from grade 4 to 5 saying, he only knows 70%. See, the 30% that he misses, उसके ऊपर ही the next 50% की foundation होनी है. So I feel कि personalized, adaptive, machine learning, AI based system होगा जो instruction deliver करेगा. Now, okay, you might ask, what would schools do? Schools will be places for hands-on learning, for making stuff. Yeah, maker spaces होंगी schools. Yeah, it'll be a place where teachers will, individually work with students to do experiments, to do hands-on learning. Students would come to school. Students may not also come to school every single day. There's no need to come to school every single day. They may come every other day, but when they come, they may have done some work at home, and then they come, and then school will be a place for community, for communal gathering, where they do sports, where they do other
labs,
things. They learn music, they do labs, they do experiments, they build stuff. If they're higher grades, they do reflection sessions, they do deliberation, they practice, they collaborate, they communicate, they build confidence, they do all of those things. So I think schools should, if not, they should become those places where anything and everything that you cannot do at home, you do. If you can, instruction is so easy, you can learn at home. But when you have questions, you go. Just like in the UK, you have the lecture class and then you have a seminar class. So you do all of the, flip-based model, where you do all of the learning at home, and then you go into the classroom, you say, hey, teacher, I have these doubts. I have these questions that I want to ask. And then the teacher is doing value addition, not just information dissemination. So that's my vision for 20 years into the future.
I think I'm just going to piggyback off that a little bit. Iske baare mein main bhi, bahut sochta hu. I'm also going to jump to the 20 years. I really believe in pretty much everything Hassan just said. Mera bas ek aur cheez hai is the language. This is really my focus has been, is how to create content, educational online course content, as efficiently as possible in as many languages as possible. Har marginal language ka it should be as cheap as possible. Kyun? Because the pura developing world is incredibly linguistically diverse. So that's been my focus, and I think a few people are going to be able to crack that and scale and enter new markets with their content very quickly, because there's just itni sari zubanein with over 20 million native speakers. There's like over 100. So I totally agree with you guys. That's all I got. I think if we have any questions or comments, I'm going to hand it over to Jahan. Yeah, this has been absolutely fascinating, and I would love to follow up with everybody here at a later date.
So there are loads of questions, and I think some of you have already answered some on Facebook. We will try and send you the rest of the questions. Maybe we can have a feedback mechanism where we can send some of the answers, because there are so many questions and we just can't deal with it in one session. Great session, guys. A friend of mine from Qatar was actually listening in, and so I'm going to connect you guys with him. And he wants you to do a session for some of the teachers there. So really interesting discussion, and I think we covered a lot of subject matter in such a short period. So thanks again for taking the time. I know you're all very busy people, and now with online learning becoming so popular these days, you must be even busier. So thanks again, and we will get in touch with you again soon.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Zubair. Thanks.
Thank you, Jahan. Thank you, Uzair.
Anyone who has any question, agar aap likh lein, to probably aaj shaam ko ya kal, I'll sit down and I'll also write written responses to all of those from my end. To aap likh lein, to main jawab de dunga for any participants.
For having us on, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this was great. We can do
Jahan,
it.
and thank you, Uzair. It was
thank you, Jahan. Thank you, Uzair. Thank you.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.